Welcome to week 4, lesson 4. Today we'll go over basic negations and conjunctions. The basic negations we will cover today are 아니요, 아니에요, 없어요. The basic conjunctions we'll go over today will be 하고 and 그리고. In lesson 2, week 2, we covered 이에요, identity, versus 있어요, existence. These are the examples we saw for how to use them properly. Now let's take a look at 아니에요, negation of identity, and 없어요, negation of existence, to not have. These are the examples for when you can properly use 아니다 and 없다. Identity, 있다, 이에요, 예요. Negation of identity, 아니다, 아니에요. To exist or have, 있다, 있어요. Negation of existence / have, 없다, 없어요. Here we have an example from our lesson on 이에요, 있어요. Here we have an example of the same brother and sister properly using 아니다 and 없다. The brother says, I am not a sister. 저는 언니 아니에요. And the sister says, I do not have a sister. 저는 언니가 없어요. Quick review. Identity and negation of identity. 있다 and 아니다. Existence / have and negation of existence / have. 있다 and 없다. Examples of 아니다 and 없다. I am a student. 학생이에요. I am not a doctor. 의사 아니에요. I have a boyfriend. 남자친구가 있어요. I do not have a sister. 언니가 없어요. Let's practice. Go ahead and pause now to answer if the answers to these questions will be 이에요, 아니에요, 있어요, or 없어요. I hope you had enough time to pause and fill in the answers. Here are the answers now. First one would be 이에요. 저는 학생이에요. Second one was 있어요. 감치기 집에 있어요. Third one was 아니에요. 이것은 제 것이 아니에요. Fourth one is 없어요. 오빠가 없어요. Yes and no are used differently in Korean than they are in English. Let's take a look at how each are used properly. For English, a person responds to a question the same way, whether the question is negative or positive. Either way, respond as if the question is positive. For Korean, respond to the question based on whether or not the statement is true or not true. Here's an example in English. For this example, let's pretend you are hungry. In English, if someone asks, are you hungry? You would say, yes, I am hungry. If someone asks, aren't you hungry? You would respond, yes, I am hungry. In Korean, if someone asks you, 배고파요? Are you hungry? You would respond, 네, 배고파요. Yes, I am hungry. In Korean, if someone asks you, 배고프지 않아요? Are you not hungry? You would respond, 아니요, 배고파요. No, I am hungry. Here are the examples in English and Korean side by side. Let's practice. Pause and think how you would respond to these questions in Korean. I hope you paused and answered the questions. Here are the answers. If you do want to eat in the cafeteria, you would say 네, yes. If you do not want to eat in the cafeteria, you would say 아니요, no. For the next example, if you are not tired, you would say 네, yes. If you are tired, you would say 아니요, no. Let's take a look at how 아니에요 and 아니요 are different. 아니요 is not the same as 아니에요. 아니요 is no. 아니에요 is a negation of identity. Let's look at an example of a conversation between Sam and Mary. Did you eat lunch?
No. Did you eat lunch?
It is not.
Hmm?
Here you see that Sam is confused because Mary answered incorrectly. In this case, it is okay to use 아니요, but it is not okay to use 아니에요 because the question is not a question of identity. Here's another example.
Are you a student?
No. Are you a student?
I am not.
In this case, it is okay to use both 아니요 and 아니에요 because the question is a question of identity. Answer if it would be okay for someone to respond with 아니에요 or if they can only respond with 아니요. Go ahead and pause now to fill in the answers. I hope that was enough time to fill in the answers. Here are the answers now. For the first one, we can only say 아니요. We cannot say 아니에요 because it is not a question of identity. For the second one, we can only say 아니요, not 아니에요, because it is not a question of identity. For the third one, we can say 아니요 or 아니에요, because it is a question of identity. For the fourth one, we could say 아니요 or 아니에요, because it is a question of identity. The basic conjunctions we will go over in this lesson are 하고 and 그리고. 하고 is commonly used to link nouns. 그리고 is most commonly used to link sentences. Here is an example of each. At lunch, I ate yogurt and a salad. 저는 점심에 요거트하고 샐러드를 먹었어요. Tomorrow I will study in the library and I will play tennis in the park. 내일 도서관에서 공부할 거예요. 그리고 공원에서 테니스 칠 거예요. Go ahead and pause to practice. I hope that was enough time to pause and fill in the answers. Here are the answers now. 저는 빵하고 고기를 가게에서 샀어요. 김치찌개를 요리할 거예요. 그리고 제 방을 청소할 거예요. 제 친구하고 만났어요. And that is it. Good job. Keep practicing. Have a good day. Bye. 왜?
It's just reminiscent of North Korean accents.
No! No.
Yori.
Yori.
Uh-huh.
Okay.